Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are doing a Jacob Parrish film study. He was the second highest rated defender for Tampa in this game against San Francisco. Jamel Dean was number one, by the way. He did so good in coverage, run defense. We're actually starting this video off. You don't see defensive back film studies that start off with a run play. But essentially what happens here, once again, Parrish is right here. What you have is everybody on this 49ers O-line, or at least right here, they're all going to be pushing in, all right? You're going to have the left guard pull, all right? It's more like right here. And then you're going to have this fullback come hit Hassan, all right, number 5. And essentially what happens, so they're all pushing in, Servassier wants to get into this, hit some gaps. We got this fullback here hitting Hassan Reddick, number 5. And we have, sorry, I was just double checking. I'm like, Hassan's number 5, right? All right. Jacob Parrish right here. They're giving it to McCaffrey. It's really good blocking. There's going to be a hole that opens up right here. I'll show you the other angle, don't worry. And Jacob Parrish comes right on in here and stops him for 1 yard. So I really like this play. We got Jacob up here. Offensive line's pushing in. Fullback's going to come hit the edge. Left guard's going to hit the linebacker. We got Parrish right here. He's just waiting for this. Christian McCaffrey thinks he sees a gap, and that gap has Jacob Parrish, and he makes the tackle all by himself, which, now that I say that out loud, sounds kind of crappy, but a very impressive tackle against a running back who's ready to get downhill, you know, elusive guy like Christian McCaffrey. Love to see it. So without further ado, let's get into a Jacob Parrish film study. All right, sticking with the run, you're going to have the O-line blocked to the right. We got Jacob up here. All right. And I really like, there was actually a couple plays. There's going to be some that I don't show you. You get the idea. You get the point. There's going to be a couple of clips that I don't show you where Jacob Parrish just like makes what could be or should be a big play into something not as bad. And I think this is a pretty decent example. So they're going to be running this football to the right. Now, number 5 right here, Demarcus Robinson, wide receiver for San Francisco. You can kind of see right here. I mean, actually, you know what? This edge rusher, who is this? Is that Hassan down here? He actually does a great job of making Christian McCaffrey go a little bit outside. But on paper, pretty much right here, you have one block. If Demarcus Robinson's able to block Jacob Parrish, we've got Christian McCaffrey getting downhill, and there's only one man to beat, and it would be Antoine Winfield, and we'd see what happens as a one-on-one running back versus Antoine. But Jacob Parrish just bounces off this block here. Robinson goes flying, and he actually gets stumbled. You see him kind of stumble a little bit. Still ends up being a gain of 5. And let me see who this edge rusher is. It is Hassan Reddick, number 5. He does a great job right here of just pushing him a little bit, just enough for McCaffrey to have to go more outside, less of a sharp cut. And then right here, this should at least be getting close to a first down. But Jacob Parrish bounces off his block and holds it to just 5. All right, getting to a coverage snap here. We have Jacob Parrish up top. And what ends up happening here is they're going to do a little check down to Tongs, the backup tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. And we're just going to get a one-on-one opportunity to tackle him. And this ends up going for some yards once again. But I'll show you right here. And so here we go. Tong's got the football, and you've got plenty of space, and all you got to do is make one guy miss, and that's Jacob Parrish. And Parrish is able to wrap up those feet to a big tight end. And I just like this. You know, we're not talking about too much. You make this guy miss. You make Jacob Parrish miss this tackle. We've got number 3 right here. One block. Look at all this space to go. So this stuff seems very minuscule when you're watching it live, especially because this is like a gain of 8. And you're like, gosh darn it. You know, a gain of 8. Now they've got a wide open guy right here. but it just could have been something much, much worse. Folks, before we get any further into this video, if you don't mind hitting that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. We post a couple of Buccaneers videos every single week. Let me know if there's any film study you want to see in particular before Monday night's game against Detroit. We've got just a huge play. Jacob Parrish is right here. He's going to drop back into coverage. Levante's going to handle this route right here. And we got a one-on-one situation. It's 3rd and 6. We're halfway through the third quarter. It's 20-16 Tampa's way. They're in the red zone. All they need is a touchdown, and they've got the lead. And Jacob Parrish, right here in this one-on-one opportunity with Kendrick Bourne. Bourne gets a nice little push-off. You see that push-off, a little bit of space. And as Parrish is coming back to this football, he slips. You see he's kind of in midair. Gets his hands on this football. First down mark is right here. It's the 5-yard line. So this would be a first down easily. And Parrish, even though he's slipping and falling on a slip and slide on a hot, humid day. Was it even hot on Sunday? Wasn't it actually felt kind of nice. Gets this huge breakup. All right, folks, we'll end it right here. We got Jacob Parrish. He's going to drop back into coverage. We're going to get this action going on. It's going to be a deep shot, intermediate shot to Juwan Jennings. And we got Jacob here. Another huge third down. It's only an 8-point football game. There's 7 minutes left in this game. It's only 3rd and 4. Mackinchetta is going to take this deep shot. We'll take a look at Jacob right here. Juwan's right there. And he does get a slight little bit of separation on this break. You see him start that break. Just a little bit of separation, and he recovers pretty much immediately. There's nowhere you can really throw this football. It ends up being overshot. There's not many opportunity or spots. You see what I mean? He's kind of got a little bit of space on Parrish right here. This ball's literally got to be thrown perfectly, and he's able to recover immediately. He got targeted 6 times in this football game, only gave up 2 catches for a couple of yards, and stopped a touchdown, a big play earlier on in the football game. But folks, that's going to wrap up our video on Jacob Parrish. I was thinking about doing Yaya Diaby up next, and then maybe even like Cameron Johnson on offense. But let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Give me your opinions on Jacob Parrish so far in his rookie season. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you soon.